the recording. Okay, so we're going to work real hard with this portrait now that we have these these ideas about how to construct with a very well-known face, right? This is a dear and well-known face, Martin Luther King Jr.'s face. He's one of our great heroes in America. And many people know his face. I know you guys do. Let's absorb ourselves in the task so that we're not really thinking about other things. Let us distract ourselves today. So we're going to start, as always, I'm going to start with that I'll start with, I'm going to start with this circle, right? And then once I get it, I'll get it. Once I get it, I'll sketch it in. And then, let's see, I think it's about here. Here is that circle. And then we're going to do that. We're going to divide his face in half. And once again, so that's why I'm putting this line where it is. It's not halfway across, right? It's not halfway across this line. It's halfway across his face. So Addie, why is this side so much smaller than this side?
Because his head is tilted, so it appears smaller.
It's turning, right? Is there anything missing, or are we seeing the whole head? It's just looking slightly smaller.
I think we can see the whole head.
Nope, nothing's missing, right? Well, we don't see his ear. That's the only thing we don't see, right? But we see his entire side of his face, right? We know if we were looking at him straight on, this would be the halfway point. What are some other observations you girls can make about this side of the face versus this side? Can you notice some things? What do you notice about it? What's different?
The smaller side is lighter because the light is coming from that side.
Yep, that's true. Absolutely. What else? What else is different?
I mean, everything on that side is smaller. Well, appears smaller.
Say that again.
Everything on that side appears smaller, I guess.
It's smaller, right? So this side of the nose is smaller than this side of the nose, right? If you look at it, it's about twice the size. This half of the nose is about half the size of this. This half of the lips are half the size of this. Even this eye is not too much. The eyes are pretty much the same size, although this is slightly smaller. What else? Does anybody else remember what's different? Do you notice that this side of the face, the features kind of go up a little bit? Can you see that? So this is more straight, and this side kind of goes up. This is straighter. This side quirks up. See that? 1, 2. This side quirks up. This nose comes up. Eye comes up a little bit more extreme. This half of the face comes up more. So it kind of angles up, which is a little bit mimicking this situation when I draw this, right? The cube, right? We know that these two sides are exactly the same size because this is a cube, but look at everything on this side is kind of angled up a little bit. That side is angled up, right? That's because, anybody know why? Do you remember why? I'll draw the lines. What's happening here?
Because it's 1 point perspective.
Yes.
So I want to go to that 1 point.
Right, so that means this side is right. So as things go, even though they're sitting flat on the table, it looks like this side is going up, and this is going at a slightly different angle. These aren't perpendicular lines. These aren't parallel lines. One's a little bit straighter. The bottom is a little bit more angled. Right, so that it'll meet. Excellent. So when we come in, and then let's see, 1, 2, 3, aha. Thank you, Mr. King, Dr. King, for your very classic features. that allow us, and then I'm going to sketch this in. When we get to features, we'll change. And remember, this is kind of the flat side of the face. Right. Observe 1/3 from the forehead to the eyebrows. The second third, the nose, the very bottom of the nose is here. Much of the nose comes up higher. So we've been having problems with our noses lately. Hey, Toshween, nice to see you. We've been having problems with the noses lately. So remember, the bottom of the nose is just above this third. And the top of the nose comes higher, right? Has this shape. So be aware of that, right? Here's the bottom third. So 1, 2, 3. So yeah, the features, a mouth is contained in the bottom third. What do you remember about the middle line of the mouth? Does anybody remember that? I remember it because it's my nemesis. It's my difficulty. Anybody remember what that rule is?
Isn't it like 1/3 from the nose?
Yep. From the last third.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, right there. So if I divide this line into equal thirds, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Indeed, that's where the middle line of the mouth is, that first third, right? So when we start our sketch, and remember, this is Martin Luther King. Everybody knows what he looks like. So if we don't get all the things right, you know, everyone's going to know. No pressure or anything. But I thought this would be a helpful one because it's like, oh yeah, you can't really like mess with it too much. I'm going to give myself, I'm gonna erase my pen, I'm gonna sharpen my pencil a little bit. Okay. So I would say let's start with this. Let's start with this shape. Now I'm still guessing at this point. I may have to adjust things. I'm guessing. Put my circle about right here, above and below. Right, this flat side of the head here. Now let me see if I have these. Oh yes, and then let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to kind of guess as well. I can already tell it needs to go more straight across. I'm going to guess that the halfway point of his face is about here and his hairline is about here, right? So the top is here. And when I draw this line, I'm going to draw it to about here, right above this. And then I'm just going to go straight. Once I identify this, I'm going to make this an equal third. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to check and see, do I have him wide enough? I'm going to start making some checks. So this is, here, I'm going to write it on here. One, two, three. Don't go any further than this because we want to get those, the height versus
Leah, you're not trying to do like a equivalent circle, right? So you're doing this upper left line on purpose, yes, you're trying to replicate that shape, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of a slightly less, it's a flatter circle on the bottom.
Exactly. It's like different in one side than the other. Right.
Yeah, it kind of curves up a bit on this side.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of curves up there too, and it's straight here. And notice it's just kind of a little bit below where the eyebrows are. Yeah, I'm trying to replicate. This is a circle. It has no sharp edges. It's just
Yeah.
kind of a, you know, a kind of a squashy circle.
Exactly. It's like a bubbly.
Yeah, it's a slightly, yeah, it's just a slightly squash
Yeah.
circle, right? Now, once I've done that here, I'm going to take a picture of this so you guys can send it over. And then when you're done, I want you to send it. And then we're going to do some checks on, do I have the width? I'm just guessing on the width. You are too. So we're going to see how close we are. I'll send this over. Because it's all about the system. The system. Da, da, da. So send it over when you get to this point. Oops, sorry. Instagram. What's that? Can't help it. I already want to check things. I'm going to. Interesting. So I'm going to check this. So this. This. Bam! Got it right. All right. And I'll show you, once you get here, I'm going to show you how to check and make sure you have this head out far enough. You have this circle in the right place, etc., etc. But mostly, I want you to get used to this idea of this funny squash circle, which is like, if you think about it, kind of, here, I'm going to show you, like, it's kind of the, if you look at a skull, right, which is what is under my, all of us here, right? Oh, that feels really good too. Also, if you want to tap your like fingers here, it feels really good. This is kind of like the eye socket, right? So down here is where the eye sockets of the skull are. So kind of the skull, oops, sorry, other way. The skull goes straight back, right? And comes out behind the neck. So that's what we're, hey, Tosh, where are you? Oh, you're at your favorite tree?
Garden.
Yeah, your garden. Yep, I see it. Right? So what I want you to get used to is this kind of idea, right? Like here's the bones of the, this is kind of the bottom of the, well, it really is here, right? Here is where the bottom of the eye socket is, right? And then it kind of comes up and it sticks out the back. The neck comes in closer. The neck doesn't come in, the neck kind of comes right up here. So it's this shape I want you to get used to, and kind of generally, where does this sit on this shape? So send me what you got. Okay, let's see. Okay, Addie, I feel like 1, 2, 3. I think. Well, let's see. Okay, so this is how you check if you've got your face, if you've got this width right. Okay. I came over here and I went from the eye to the very edge of the ear, which is really just basically the bottom, right? That's that width of the face. See it? Now I'm going to come and line it up here with the vertical distance. And this is what I noticed. Literally halfway up this last third, if I find the halfway point here and I measure it like this, that's how wide this should be. Cool, huh? So check yours, Addie. I'm gonna
Yeah,
check
I think my
it.
face is barely too wide.
Let's see. I'm looking. I'm checking it. Might not be as bad as you think. Yeah, it's a little too wide. It needs to come in, right? It needs to be, no, actually, it might be not be wide enough. Hold on. One here. Oh yeah, it's not wide enough, right? Your width has to be the same as this distance. And yours is like this distance. Your width. So you actually need to bring it out a little more. And then observe how low the ear, if I were to draw a line straight across, right, like that, observe how low the ear comes. It kind of comes low enough. That circle goes not all the way to the line up with the nose, but close. And then observe where the top of this comes to. It comes and you guys know what this is, right? This second circle. This is like the flat side of the face. So it's like we took a round object and we cut off the edge. Like we did an apple, right? That lines up here. So get that. Tosh is working with digital. Well, you look like you're doing pretty well. I don't think you need me. Looking pretty good. Did you trace it?
Right?
Your Procreate, this
I
is
did.
Procreate, right? Yeah, so the shapes
Yeah.
are all in the right place. Oh my God, are you enjoying Procreate? Isn't it fun?
Yeah, it feels like a whole new world.
It is a whole new world entirely. I don't think you need any advice. Honestly, I think it's good. I don't have any advice to give you. I mean, maybe a little, let's see, Mariana. Let me check Mariana's and then I'll see. Yeah, Mariana, that's it. That's it. It's perfect. All right. I honestly think you got it, Tosh. I like that. The last thing we're going to check is kind of like, let's see, 2, 3, 4. Really, this is like 1/4 of the side of the face, like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I need to bring my line a little bit over. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start here. Let me double check first. So here's one side of the line, 2. Oh yeah, that's better. So this line is in this kind of comes, you see that I had to move it, you guys? I didn't quite have it in the right place. I didn't leave quite enough room on this left side. I needed a little bit more, and I figured that out by really measuring 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little bit more than 2, 3, 4. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more than 4 quarters. This should be 1 quarter. So I'm like, oh, I have to move that. I'm not freaked out about it. Not freaking out, not freaking
Why
out.
did you
just
say that?
moving it, just moving it, right? Like not worried about it. And I'm going to check here too. I can see that like it's even less than 1/2 the distance up. So let's see, here's my halfway point. Maybe it's this much to the top. I don't have that much, right? So now then, once you get that measurement right, then you can come in here. Right, and start to get that outer shape. And I also can see that his head kind of comes in a little bit, so I'm trimming that out, right? It's a little bit more slanted than I had it. And he's got this kind of cute little widow's peak here. Oh, wait, here, let me sketch these in so you can see these two. Oh, you know what? I apologize. Let me send over this. I don't think I sent this over to you. Mm-hmm. Yep, Addie, that looks pretty good. I think your circle needs to come out just a little bit wider, but not too much wider. And a little bit down, but not too much down. I think in general, that's in pretty good shape. And I feel like your line is in the right place, unlike mine was. This line is in the right place, this vertical, so you're in good shape. Keep going down here. And observe, it's a little hard to see where his jaw line is happening. So here, good job, you guys. One day this is going to feel normal to you and you'll be like, what? People will be like, how do you do that? And I'm like, I can't do it. You'll be like, I can't explain this. I come to spend 10 weeks with me. Maybe I will start to be able to explain to you what it is I'm doing, right? I can't tell you that. It's nice because I can see head kind of comes straight up here. And then maybe curves up a little bit. Oh, wait, sorry. It's like hair is here. The ear comes in on the circle a little bit. The ear's like kind of here. Got little ears, Dr. King. Little cute ears. Right, so I'm still using my, and then neck. kind of comes right here. Not as far out as the head is going, but in. If you look, you'll see. Well, kind of lined up with it, really. And also, look how high the neck stops. It lines up with that. Oh yeah, let's divide this into threes. Nope, that's not threes. Yep, let's divide this into threes, and I can see that, like, if I draw a line straight across, that's kind of at the third line, right? That's where the neck ends here. And then I have this shirt shape. And this goes off like that. Yeah. That come in too far. Observe how much I am using points that I've already established. Actually, I think it's easier to do this shape, this negative space shape. Start with that. And then I can build up. Look at how low the jacket is on that side. But notice once I start to establish things, then I can use those to help me figure out where everything else is. So observe how many times I've kind of lined stuff up with what's on here now that we know what's there. That is like the real skill of learning to draw, really. Finish these lines so you can just get them. Notice the collar doesn't have the same shape. Notice the tie isn't the same shape. Notice what a gorgeous fellow he was. What a beautiful man. Notice that the less you think about what a thing is and the more you just try to get the shapes, the better it's going to go for you. Notice how if you watch me working, you're going to see even I'm struggling. I'm struggling too to get these shapes right. And give yourself a line here so you know where your drawing ends. Yeah, that's pretty good. We're probably still going to work on it a bit more, but I'm glad I moved my line. He would have been way too narrow. And let yourself be absorbed in this task. Addie, forget about your homework or that dumb kid at school today that drives you crazy, or all the chores you have to do. Mariana, forget about oil. Tosh, just think about your lady with that fantastic, think about what a good job you did on that portrait. Give me just a moment, guys. I'll be right back. Water. Okay, where are we at? Addie, I think you will see that this actually, his head kind of comes down and out a little bit. You've kind of bounced him up like this. Right? His head slants more. And then this hairline comes down like that. Good job. Coming along. Oh, likeness, it's so hard. Getting likeness, it's the hardest.
Yeah, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I want you to really look at where that nose is. This is the third mark. The nose, the bottom of the nose is above it. This is even higher.
So I need to bring my nose up a bit.
Yep.
Okay.
And you need to bring it out a little bit. Otherwise, let's see. Yeah, I think you got it really well, Tosh.
Thank you so much.
Just do what you see, right?
Yeah, I'm trying. It's really
Yeah.
hard because you can't really tell what they are unless you. So,
But that helps
Um,
because you can see as you look further away, even though they just look like splotches up close, as you step further back, they do actually look like that.
yay.
It's good.
Thank you so much. I'll keep you guys updated, and I'm gonna do this on my own as well. Thank you for
Excellent.
being good company. I'm gonna
Oh,
jump
yeah.
off.
Okay. We'll
Bye,
see you later,
everyone.
babe. Mariana, where are you at? Send me a picture.
Doing.
Just so I can take a look.
I only have pencil today, so
That's okay. I'm using pencils today too.
it's kind of. I'm missing the mustache, but
Okay, I can figure out where to go. I want to see what you've got and see if you've got things in the right places.
I think the nose is too high. Let's see.
Do you want to fix that first and then send it over? If you can see it.
I'm not
Oh,
sure
you just
because I
did
have
it.
to. Yeah, I did because I don't know.
Yeah, the nose is too far. It needs to be, okay, so this shape looks pretty good. The nose needs to come up just a bit. You have it sitting, here's the line, right?
Mhm.
Look at how high up.
Yeah.
This is the bottom of the nose. It doesn't sit right on the line. It comes right above it. And then everything else comes even higher. And this shape you do not have right. So let me show you. Well, it starts with the, so look
Yeah,
at
the
the
lip.
mouth line. It comes right to the third and then it goes
Yeah.
straight.
I got it.
Like an angle line.
It is going down. Yeah.
Yeah, you have it going down. It's actually an angle line going up.
Mhm, mhm.
And then you have this one going up and it really isn't going up, it's straight. But getting there. Higher up, Addie, higher up. I want you to look at this. Look at the negative space, right? Look at that shape between the mustache and the nose. Look at this shape. Get these shapes in and you'll get that shape. So what do I mean by that? I mean, try to shape out this. Try to do this. Do that shape. Do this shape. And that will help you get these shapes. Good job, you guys. Yeah, Mariana, observe how often one wants to put the line in the exact opposite direction of where it should go. That's a perspective thing. That is like your left brain kind of fighting with you about where things should go. But we know what to tell our left brain. We know. We know. 1, 2, 3. Actually, that's pretty good. 3 and 4. So I can see also, and Addie, this will be helpful to you as well. Okay, so now I've got kind of my eye on this side. If I check my eye here, I'm just going to measure it with my pencil. This is the length of my eye, and I line it with the edge. I think you can see that it's pretty close. Like this, the space between this eye and this eye is one eye. So I can see that my eye starts about here. One eye, 2 eyes. So I have to adjust my, there we go. That's why that didn't look right. And then 2 eye. I can see that this eye is just a little bit wider than this eye, not too much. Right, so first I'm gonna sketch in. What can I see here? I can see like this side. And then sort of at the bottom here. Yep. And I can get in that upper lid line, which kind of sits close on top of his eye here. I can see a little bit of it here. Here it's the same. I can kind of see it. Yes, very Asiatic features, actually. I mean, that's not surprising. Almost all of us do. All of us have a little Genghis Khan in us. This comes up and then it kind of intersects with the top. When I'm adding these in, I'm looking at the triangle. What are the shapes on each side? Maybe then I'm erasing this. Starting to get there. Starting to get there, Addie. See if you can locate. So measure the length of the eye from here to here, and then line it up, and that's where the new eye starts. So here to here, here to here. That's where the very tip of the new eye starts. Get your shape of your eyebrow too. That doesn't look right. Better. Okay. So Addie, this eye is a little bit longer. It's not the same size as this. If you look here, you'll see, let's see, this one's about this long. This one has another 2 millimeters to the right. And then I think you're going to see where you need to put your nose, because your nose is still not at all in the right place. So get your eyes in the right place. Then we're going to talk about how to line up the nose. A little bit better. This shape's a lot bigger than you have it. Look at the space. Right? Between the eye. It's super. It's hard. This is really hard. It's okay that nobody's doing it perfectly, me included. Look at where the edge of the mustache and the mouth line up. They line up with just this very center. Notice that if I were to take this eye measurement from here to here and come over here, let's see. That's the next eye length, here to here. So it's right before the ear. And in fact, like literally, it's kind of the hairline is right here. Oh yeah, there you go. Now you guys are starting to get somewhere. Me too, just a little. Now I'm kind of wanting to get rid of I want to get rid of this. I don't need it anymore. Right, so notice the next side comes to here, and that's kind of where the point of the hair and the ear starts. Here comes back a little bit from there. yeah, that made a big difference, actually. I think for the better. Notice once I establish a distance, I'm also using it to sort of help me figure out other distances. The key is it has to be something that's actually working. I see. That out too. Yeah. No, that's not quite right. Let's see. Trying to get exact shape of his head. Like I said. Now notice I'm not doing this bullshit. Sorry, please don't do that. That's not what's happening with his hair. His hair is just dark. Solid lines. Please don't try to draw his hair like that. It upsets me. Oops. I'm feeling I kind of need his hair in at this point just to help me start to distinguish between all the other parts of his face, which are lighter. Feel like, let's see, how to measure the distance from here to here. That's the problem. I totally had his hairline. Oh my God, look what that did. So I checked to see how much, I was like, I didn't feel like I had this hairline in the right place. It didn't look right. Look at how off I was, which means perhaps this is off a little bit too. That's still right. So how did I check that? I checked to see, I knew this hairline didn't look right, so I checked to see how wide from the, see the top of the eyebrow to the edge of the hairline, which is right here. How wide is that? And I compared it to how tall it was, and I could see it was basically 2/3 of the way up the face. So I came over here and I checked mine, and look at where mine was. It was here. Look at where it actually is, over here. I need to bring his ear up too. So look at that. Those are pretty significant shifts I had to make that make a big difference in likeness. And I know that these lines are correct, so I know I can compare. Still don't think I quite have it right, but I think I've got it better. Starting to get there. Oh, this is down. This is also down a little bit too low. So you see how these adjustments are starting to look a little bit, make it look a little bit more like him? Not totally there yet. I might have brought his ear down too low. I can check that by. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, just a touch. Those kind of adjustments, you think it doesn't matter, but it totally does. Coming in here and adding in. Mustache will help. I'm remembering, I'm looking very closely because he's looking up. And notice it's darker around the edge, and then it's real hard to see anything beyond the little flick, little white dot. It's still darker towards the top. And it's definitely kind of darker all along here where there are lashes, where there's an upper lid line. Here's where I can start to see this hooded area, how that upper lid line kind of comes in. But down here, getting rid of these lines now. It's lighter. If you remember, so I'm kind of lightening my lines here. It's darker all the way up here into the tear duct, and then when we get down here, it's much lighter. A little darker, but mostly. So now I'm getting rid of this bottom line because I don't think that's helping me anymore. I don't need it anymore. Feel like I made his irises just a touch too big. I'm pulling it in just a little bit. That's better. One was looking significantly bigger than the other, and although it's slightly bigger than the other, it's not by much. And we've got eyebrows, which are kind of dark here, come up here, and then much lighter. Disappear. Now we're starting to get a little bit of lightness, maybe not totally. Starting to come. And I think at this point we might go to the next page so that we can see some of the things that we covered up. So one of these things that I can really see, his eyebrows are thinner than I have them. Okay, that's actually starting to make a difference. And also, let's look at the shading of the face. So it's kind of all shaded in here. And then notice across the bridge of the nose right here, there's kind of a slightly darker area. It's not equally dark, right? And then it's kind of dark down here. It's a little bit dark here. Leave a little bit more space here. We have the shape here. Right? A little bit better. Okay, so let me see if I can show you the shadow areas of your face. There's your light. There's your light. There's your shadow. Shadow. See all the shadows here? The midtones, and the darks and the lights. And then up here. And then here is obviously where his face is turned around and there's another light kind of hitting him from the right side. That's where all the shadow areas are. So now I'm going to try and sketch in some of those. I can see that even though it's light here, so I'm doing a kind of light shadow here, but it's still a shadow. Even though this side of his face is light, it's still darker. Come along, Addie. I still think there's more. When you start to add the shadow in here, so as you start to add the shadow in here, Addie, you're going to see that you kind of lose where the edge of the, you have a lost edge from about here to here. So you can't really see, once you get that in, and then you come here on the other side, right? There's this sort of little light area. You can kind of see we've lost you kind of lose the edge of this shape. I think you're going to get your eyebrow shape better. I can't really see the eyebrow because of the way he's lit on that side. Can't really see where the eyebrow starts and the eye begins. So as you start to add in that shading, you'll start to see it. Oh yeah, now I'm starting to get a little bit more Martin Luther Kingliness. It's really not till I start getting to and just because he is dark skinned doesn't mean his shadows form any differently on his face. So everybody is darker skinned from here down. Mostly we're in shadow. So you have to use these same pencil lines regardless of a person's skin color. It does not matter. You see how as I start to add in this stuff, things get slightly, at least it gets a little bit easier. Now I see I'm starting to get Dr. King. As I start to add the shading in the face. Notice how in some areas I'm going lighter, in other areas I'm going darker. Here. I'm going dark, but not as dark as his hairline. And then about here, things get, they're still darkish, but not as dark because there's this light. So I'm kind of darkening to here. And then around here. The darkest part is his hair. Nothing on his skin gets any darker than that. Bam, there he is, starting to come out. Oh, I see. Actually, his ear comes down. I haven't even really looked at the shape of his ear up until now. Cute little ear. It's not really till I start to add the shading in that I start to see. Yeah, hit the shape of his face really start to come out. Particularly down here. Dark, it's just super dark. You know, like with everybody, it's kind of darker. Like the neck is always darker underneath. It's darker on the dark side. Mostly it's dark. There's just little areas of light, right? Like these little light spots that are here. Oh, okay. So his lips kind of round out a little bit more down here. They have a pretty specific shape. All right. So we've got about 20 minutes left. Let's see where we can get to. look at how differently, look at how once I started to get the shape of his face and the shape of this shading, which is pretty dramatic. Look at how things started to get significantly better. It began to look like him. I don't think really until that point I had him. I'm not saying I totally have him, but I'm saying I'm starting to have it. There we go. She's been there all day. Little studio kitty, Mabel. She's just been sleeping on this chair, the nicest chair in the studio, of course. Yeah. I don't quite have his hairline right, but definitely. Now his facial features are there. Part of the problem is I'm actually this on an angle. There we go. Okay. So right, this shape. I see. Kind of comes up like that more. It sketches up. See how I'm then so I had his hairline all wrong. Now it's looking not perfect. A little bit better. Damn. See how I'm continuing to darken in certain places. Kind of. I can actually also see how I can kind of reshape that using my electric eraser. I can see this little light edge where his eye kind of rounds out like that. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh yeah, that helps a lot. is the upper lip too thick. So notice how I'm not assuming anything. That I've got anything right, but I'm kind of trying to resolve things. Yeah, I think for the most part, these are better. I'm also getting rid of this line, which is annoying. I've kind of lost my light over here, so I'm bringing it back to the eraser. Actually, one of the things I'm observing that is kind of light around the edge, not dark. See how I'm kind of erasing that line? Making it dark underneath. My gosh, we're at 5:20. Okay, why don't you send me where you are? And I'm gonna give you some advice on how to push it as much as possible in the next 10 minutes. The picture of both of you. And if you're really struggling with this, if you feel like you just didn't get it, then my recommendation is watch this video and watch me work, right? Spend a little time watching all of the corrections that I'm doing, because I know you're trying to do it at the same time, so you can't always see that. So if you're like, I just don't know what I did, how did I not get this? And, what was I missing here, and yada, yada. Watch my corrections. Addie, not bad. What is the, like I said, this is poking, we're doing this. So the relationship between here and here is not quite well defined. Can you see that? You're kind of poking up too much. So erase everything here on this side. Really take your eraser to this light area. And then look at this shape. Right? That light, that dark. Look at those shapes to try and help you get that right. And here, I'll do it too. Mine's a little bit off as well. So what I mean by that is, here. Like, I want to make sure I have this. So I'm going to probably erase everything that's above here. See that? So that they're in relationship to each other, right? Like he's got his, I want to make sure one isn't rising up over the other. I feel like yours aren't very related right now. They're just two eyebrows. They don't happen to be kind of lined up in any way. So draw this line across and see if you can create this shape, which will help you kind of carve out that shape. Also, get rid of everything on this side and lighten here. Mariana, where are you? It's not bad though.
I'm almost ready.
Okay. Let's see where you're at. I definitely think even doing some of those corrections that I just did with you, Addie, helped a bit. Actually taking my eraser. Kind of helps too, a little bit. So I would recommend continuing to work on these, you guys, until you feel like you just can't work on it anymore. Okay. Yeah, starting to get better. Also, I'd recommend looking at this subject upside down. So Addie, that would be your next assignment, would be to continue. So actually, I want you to continue this. I want you guys to continue this and see what you can get. See how close to likeness you can get. I think if you spent a little bit more time, you could. I have to actually go, unfortunately, or I would do it with you, but I would recommend continuing to work on this. You really aren't, you still aren't like, you're kind of missing this shape. So try putting it upside down, Patty, and looking at it like this. And maybe it'll be easier to see. See what I can see. In my drawing. I can also totally see some stuff on my own. So cool, isn't it? We're all just like, darn it, Yeah, Mariana. So Mariana, I would say, and I struggled with this too, so take a look at it while he's upside down. Do you see the shape of the irises and the shapes around? You need to make your irises a little bit smaller. It has to do with the angle at which he's shot, at which he's been photographed. So work those, and I think you're gonna find, oh, better, Addie, it's coming. Let's just work a couple more minutes, yeah? It becomes obsessive, doesn't it? Damn it, I'm gonna get this. Then you turn it upside down and you're like, rats, all these other things that need to be worked on. I thought I had it good there for a while, and then I lost it again. Now I'm kind of finding it again. Rah. Let's turn mine upside down to see how it's doing. Did you do better? Actually, I think that helped it. Actually, I think that helped it quite a lot. I fixed up the hairline. Yeah. It's respectable. At least it looks like him. Sort of. Good job, you guys. I appreciate this. You're working hard. We're gonna go a few more minutes. We're gonna go as long as you want, really, quite frankly. So work a touch longer.
Leah, I actually have to go. I
Yeah.
can't stay any longer. Leah? Hey, Leah. I have to hop off. Thank you.
Think she just went to serve some tea or something. I will tell you left. You gotta leave.
Oh, did we lose? We lost Addie.
Yeah, Ari had to go. She says she had to go.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
Not. I'm sorry, I'm afraid.
Stay, stay, just stay. No. You don't like that. You don't like that. You don't like that. How's it going, Mariana?
It doesn't look so much like him. But I knew it. It's very difficult to do. It is worse when you like something, because you want to make it exactly like that, and it's not gonna be. It's -1.
Oh, ouch. Ouch, lady. I know. Hey, Mariana, how's it going? Are you still there? Mariana. Okay.